You know, I'm personally ready for the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know about you guys. For new hardware, new Nintendo Switch 2 games, I wonder what they're gonna look like. Is there gonna be Nintendo Switch 2 specific games? Will some third-party games come to the Nintendo Switch 2 and not the original Nintendo Switch? I mean, heck, what is the next Zelda gonna be like? That's another thing I'm wondering. Like, what is Nintendo gonna do with the next Legend of Zelda? Tears of the Kingdom is over and they're not gonna be doing anything within that universe, so what are they gonna do? What kind of Legend of Zelda would you guys like in the next iteration? A whole new one, or maybe going back to maybe the Twilight Princess Link or the Wind Waker Link? What do you think? Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the Robo Show, where we take the gaming news format that channels like Spawnwood or Arlo do, add a dash of animation and some cool editing on top to bring you your gaming news, leaks, and rumors in a fresh new way. If you're new here and want to be kept up on everything gaming, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoy the video and dislike if not, and have that notification bell on so you know when I upload. In this video, we are going to talk about the Nintendo Switch, its recent news about the sales, and what it means for the future of the Nintendo Switch and the Switch 2 reveal. We also have some Nintendo Switch Online games being added soon, and some new Nintendo Switch games that appeared at THQ Nordic Showcase as well. Well, one game appeared. Though there was a new trailer for this game, which I do have some interest in this game as well, so it's pretty cool to see a new look at it. And we have some smaller topics as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, it helps the video reach more viewers when you do, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is RoboRob93. Without further delay, let's get on to the topics. So the Nintendo Switch 2 has been doing, not Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch, we're not there yet. So the Nintendo Switch has been doing pretty great, and honestly, as someone who hopped on the Switch straight from the start, or at least mostly from the start, I didn't have enough money at launch. But my point is, I've had a blast on the Nintendo Switch, from big Nintendo Switch games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, to indie games like Hades and Dead Cell. But with all of these great new Nintendo Switch games over the past 8 to 7 years, and new editions of the Nintendo Switch Lite and the original Nintendo Switch, and of course the OLED, I think one thing that we probably all expected in Nintendo as well is that the sales for these Nintendo Switches were going to stagnate at some point. There's only so many people who will buy Nintendo Switches, right? And there's only so many Nintendo Switch owners who buy multiple Nintendo Switches just for those extra editions. At some point, it was going to slow down, which brings me to my first piece of news that we got out of the financial results from Nintendo, and this is what my Nintendo News has to say. Nintendo has published its financial results for the first quarter of 2024-25 fiscal year, revealing that Nintendo Switch hardware sales now stand at 143.42 million units sold as of 30th of June 2024. This is up from the 141.32 million as reported in May, with Nintendo selling 2.1 million consoles across the Switch family of systems between April 1st and June 30th, which represents a 46.3% decline year on year. Now that's a pretty big decline. Now also, one thing to note is that it said as of June 30th, so that means they could have sold a little bit more Nintendo Switches, but overall there is a big decline in Nintendo Switch consoles. And this is across the Nintendo Switch Lite, Nintendo Switch OLED, and the original Nintendo Switch, just not the original Nintendo Switch or just one specific Switch version. Switch software sales experience a similar decline, with 30.64 million units sold, down 41.3% compared to the same 3-month period last year. So not only are consoles declining, also software is declining as well. People are buying less Nintendo Switches, or Nintendo Switch games, I mean. Now they go on to say how the Nintendo Switch is in its 8th year on store shelves, which makes a lot of sense. It's been out for quite a while. In fact, if I remember correctly, this is the longest console run that Nintendo has ever done with the console. So it does make sense why there would be a decline by now. Honestly, the survivability of the Nintendo Switch itself just this far into its lifespan is something of a marvel, actually. Now, if it only sold about 3 million since May, this does make me wonder when the Switch 2 reveal will be, because you would think that Nintendo would look at these sales and say, oh, we have to do something to increase the sales, especially since it's not just the hardware sales now, it's the software sales as well. Don't know why I said software like that. So they need something big to draw in more people so they can keep up those sales on Nintendo Switch games and Nintendo Switch consoles. Now what would that be? The Nintendo Switch 2. It makes you wonder, how long can they wait before they really do need that Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, which makes me wonder about September. When it comes to the number of Nintendo Switches sold, the reason why a lot of Nintendo fans, and me included, are really interested in this number is because the biggest and most sold console of all time is the PS2 at, I think, about 165 million, if I remember correctly. I don't know the exact number, but it's around that. And the Nintendo DS is about to be surpassed as well pretty soon. I think the Nintendo Switch will beat the Nintendo DS, but the PS2 is all-time, lifetime sales of a console. Nintendo Switch would be number one. So the big question that a lot of people are asking now is, can Nintendo get the lifetime sales, the number one spot of the best-selling console of all time? Well, the fact that since May they only sold about 3 million units, that's about 6 months or so, I have a hard time believing that without the Nintendo Switch 2, they're not gonna be getting any more sales on the Nintendo Switches that would bring them to that above 160 million. I mean, they would have to wait a very, very long time before that even happened if they didn't release the Nintendo Switch 2, but as we know, Nintendo said that the Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna be coming in 2025, and it's already almost September. Well, not almost September, it's the 4th of August. Slow down, I don't wanna date myself too much. I don't want time passing that fast, is what I'm trying to say. Or do I? Because then we get the Nintendo Switch 2 fast. But anyways, my point is, I don't think Nintendo can do that. I don't think they're gonna get there without the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I do think when the Nintendo Switch 2 is out, I think then that will pass that 165 or 160 or whatever the number is. I'll put it on screen right now when I look it up during editing. But when they pass that number. Now, because the sales for the software are dwindling so much, and because the sales for the Nintendo Switches are also dwindling so much, this begs the question, is Nintendo gonna be revealing the Nintendo Switch 2 soon? Not releasing, but revealing. And that's something that we've talked about a lot on this channel, the September Nintendo Direct. Will Nintendo wait until 2025, a February Nintendo Direct maybe, to reveal the Nintendo Switch and then release it a couple months later? Is Nintendo really gonna scrape the barrel of those sales for the Nintendo Switch to just get as close as possible to that number, or at the very least beat the Nintendo Switch? Or not the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo DS. Well, looking at the numbers, the fact that they only did 3 million, which could go up with the new Nintendo Switch games like Mario and Luigi Brothership or the new Zelda game, especially since there's a new Zelda Nintendo Switch Lite. A lot of people are gonna buy that. They did the same thing with the Tears of the Kingdom OLED. Remember, that sold really, really well and really boosted the numbers of Nintendo Switches sold. But even then, I don't think it's gonna be enough to beat the PS2 lifetime sales, and I don't think it's gonna be enough to beat the Nintendo DS. So I think there is a possibility that September we could see the reveal for the Nintendo Switch 2, or at the very least maybe even like a tease or something. I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. I don't have all the answers. All I can do is speculate on what I think Nintendo is gonna do and what they've done in the past and what makes sense to me. But anyways, what makes sense to you guys? What do you think Nintendo's route is gonna be? Based on what these sales look like and how you can think Nintendo is gonna go about when they see these sales that they've only done 3 million in the past 6 months, and that sales are declining this fast, which is going to decline even more over the course of the next couple months. A lot of people are just waiting for the Nintendo Switch 2. With that being said, we're moving on to the next topic. I spent a lot of time on that topic. Wow. I don't know. I really like talking about that kind of stuff and trying to figure out what Nintendo is going to do. It's always fun to speculate on what Nintendo's plan is going to be because they usually do what you think they're not going to do, if that makes sense. But moving on to the next topic of this video, we do have a new Nintendo Switch Online game, which really makes me wonder what the Pokemon company is going to do and what Nintendo is going to do with the classic Game Boy Advance games for the Pokemon series. Of course, there are other Pokemon games I'd love to see. GameCube, if they would ever add that to the Nintendo Switch Online service, I would love to play XD Gale of Darkness and Pokemon Coliseum. The name kind of skipped my mind for a second there. But these Pokemon games that we absolutely love, that we love to go back to and play, the classic Pokemon games. Honestly, I always thought that Game Freak should try to do at least just once, go back to the old format, go back to the sprites, just do that once without 3D. I would love to see what they would cook up with. or what they would cook, however you say that saying. You guys get what I mean. I know some people probably wouldn't like that, but I think it would be pretty interesting. Or maybe an HD 2D remake, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of us do want these Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch Online servers, and we are kind of getting the Pokemon games that we wanted. We're getting Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. Now that is going to be available on the 9th of this month, so just a couple days away, which is pretty exciting. I've never played that at all. I didn't even play the remake on Nintendo Switch, which I might just play this one first. Actually doing kind of like a playthrough of it would be fun. But yeah, it's really cool that it's coming to the Nintendo Switch Online service, and it really does make me wonder, again, all of these games that are on the Nintendo Switch Online service that get remakes or remasters, and they also have a game on the Nintendo Switch Online service, I've always been a big believer that these things can coexist, and this just adds to that. That's why I think Wind Waker can be on the Nintendo Switch Online service if GameCube games are added on, as well as Twilight Princess, and still have Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD on the Nintendo Switch in like a pack or something. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Pokemon games. My question is this just the start of the Pokemon games hitting the Nintendo Switch Online service? Are we gonna get Emerald, Sapphire, Ruby, Leaf Green? Are we gonna get those games? Because you have to wonder, why wouldn't you? At this point, you have all of these other Pokemon games. You're putting everything that you're gonna put on, especially if GameCube comes to the Nintendo Switch Online service, and they put XD Gale of Darkness and Pokemon Coliseum. If they put those on the Nintendo Switch Online service, I'm gonna be looking at the Pokemon Company and thinking, what are you doing? Why aren't you putting Pokemon Leaf Green, Nintendo why I said that. That's not Game Boy Advance. I mean, look, if you want to try to add Nintendo DS on the Nintendo Switch Online service, go ahead. All the more welcome. But you guys get my point. I would be really confused at that point. But I think Pokemon Soul Silver, why do I keep saying Soul Silver? Maybe I want to play that secretly. Going back and playing the Pokemon games is on my list, actually. But yeah, I think those games could possibly come, or at least have a better chance now that we have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team, which I don't know why it took them so long. The one on the Nintendo Switch came out a while ago. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think this is a sign that they're going to be bringing more Game Boy Advance Pokemon games to the Nintendo Switch? By the way, yes, I did have a lot of caffeine before recording this video. Now, as far as the THQ Nordic information goes, we do have just 2 games. Honestly, when I saw the article title, I thought it was going to be a lot more games than that, but it's just 2 games. There's the, that's still to be determined for the announcement of the release date, but it's the Eternal Life of Goldman, and then the other one that was shown was Disney's Epic Mickey Rebrush, which I am pretty excited for. That's coming out in about a month and 20 days, if my math is correct. But yeah, people who are looking forward to this game, there is a new trailer out for that. And the last topic for today is something that I didn't expect to be talking about, to be honest. Apparently, an open world Patrick Star game has leaked for the Nintendo Switch. Kinda strange if you ask me. So this is what My Nintendo News has to say. It would appear as though a new open-world 3D platformer based on SpongeBob SquarePants, Patrick Star, is on the horizon and is coming to the Nintendo Switch family of systems. The game leaked via gaming retailer how do you even say that? Igabibba. That's a funny word. Igabibba, I think. I'm probably saying that wrong. And was discovered on social media platform X. The retail listing has been since removed, but we would expect an official announcement soon, perhaps at Gamescom this month. I completely forgot about Gamescom. Dang, now I'm getting really excited. But yeah, that is also leaked for the Nintendo Switch. Now it's coming to the PS5 as well, and I would assume the Xbox Series. I don't see why this game would skip the Xbox Series X. It'd be really strange. But yeah, that is today's topics. Make sure you guys tell me what you guys think about it in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. And if not on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there is my Patreon and Twitter account in the pinned comment if you're interested in those. Oh, and also have this donut if you're still sticking around for me rambling. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.